I'm here with Stefan Matthews. Hi, Stefan. So nice to see you again.
Hi Claire, good to be back here in Manila House.
Welcome back. And let's first talk about your plans in the near future for this region, particularly the Philippines and Asia.
Look, the Philippines is, and has been for a while now, a very important region in terms of nChain's focus and nChain's development of business initiatives. We've been working with one of the world's largest, or second largest, consulting groups over the last 3 or 4 months since I took the chair of CEO in the company to redefine what our strategy and our strategic approach to markets should be over the next 5 years. So I wanted to develop a 5-year plan for the business, something that we haven't done and haven't done well in our history. So what was fascinating that came out of that, because once they got deeply involved in understanding the technology, and I'm particularly talking about BSV blockchain, and I've said it a number of times, once you go down the rabbit hole, you never come out, because you understand the technology in a way that most people don't understand blockchain. So once they understood that, and they started to understand and work with us around where the opportunities were for us to commercialize our intellectual property and to provide solutions, we started to focus on emerging markets. And then we started to focus on the Philippines, and it was interesting that we were already here in the Philippines. And then, you start to look at the opportunities that we've developed here. We all have funnels of business opportunities, and the catalogue of opportunities we have here is enormous. I mean, my challenge is to work out how we're going to service all this activity. But I flew in on Saturday. My meeting started on Sunday. I'm flying out next Saturday. I've flipped across here, but I've got to leave at 8 o'clock. There are so many follow-up meetings that are occurring, and some really significant opportunities that, for us, could close in the next 60 to 90 days. So, our focus is more heavily on the Philippines now than it has been in the last 12 months. And that's because the opportunities are here, and the opportunities are such that, I talk about making a real difference. They do make a real difference, and they're being pursued because they are commercially viable to do so.
Right.
Yeah.
In terms of other parts of the region, what are nChain's plans?
You can't be all things to all people. You can't be in all places at the same time. So, our focus is emerging markets. There are several emerging markets in this Asian region. There are other emerging markets in different parts of the world. But our primary focus in this region is the Philippines. And I know through discussions that I've had and presentations that we've done and submissions that we've done over the last 12 months, there are regional partners of organisations here who are following and are very keen to pursue the same direction that organisations here in the Philippines are taking. So I think it's a natural progression that we will flow some of the solutions that we're bringing to fruition here into neighbouring countries. But that's not my focus. My focus is to make sure we do it and do it right here, and then the rest will follow.
Great. The president just signed the new Philippine Passport Act. It's to establish and maintain an online app portal on the DFA's website. Is this a possible use case for blockchain and digital identity?
Well, digital identity is, if you look at our intellectual property portfolio, so much of the patent filings that have taken place and the grants on a number of those relate to digital identity. We've, over the years, talked about how our portfolio relates to Web3. Digital identity is a core part of Web3. I've been involved in meetings the last 2 days, and I mentioned as we're close to signing off on a deal in the next 2 or 3 months. Digital identity is a critical part of that. And you mentioned what the president has announced around immigration and passports. What we're developing already for another client is something very closely related to that. There is a natural connection between what he's identifying as an opportunity to streamline a process and blockchain. So I was aware of that. Conceptually, I was made aware of it some months ago, so I knew that was coming through, and it's an area that I would really like to work on in this country, because I think blockchain does bring a lot to that process.
Perfect. So before I let you go, one last question. A lot of talk now about AI, and I'd like to get your thoughts on the convergence of AI and blockchain and how that could possibly benefit the Philippines.
Well, it's no secret, I think I've mentioned it to you before, that I've got a personal interest in AI, and this stems from 5 years ago. I came to the conclusion that there was a natural connection between the two, and the natural connection is data. Blockchains are about data integrity, data immutability. AI requires large data volumes to be able to make decisions and predictive outcomes. So I formed that opinion, and I went to the Oxford Business School and did a course on AI, because I wanted to make sure that I wasn't delusional about where all this was going. And that just reinforced my thoughts. Today here at this venue, I arrived early today, and I was talking to some people involved in the academic arena, and naturally we started talking about blockchain, and I brought up AI because we talked a year ago about being able to do something unique here in the Philippines, and through the Block Dojo process, and that's why we're here tonight to close off cohort 1, about developing technology solutions for the Philippines and for the world. I want to see, whether it's in the second or third cohort, I want to see the marriage of blockchain and AI coming through the innovators in this country. And we were talking about joint research projects, and there's a couple of institutions in this country that I've been involved in discussions with, and I really would like to see AI as the flavour of the month. A year ago, people were talking about blockchain. Now it's AI. What they should be talking about is, how do these two things work together, and how do they complement one another, and how do we undertake research programs for business and for the government that focus on the benefits of bringing the two together. We're using AI ourselves in our business around managing our intellectual property. But what AI needs is a reference that gives you certainty about the data that's being used to make predictive decisions. And that's why I believe it's both necessary and inevitable that in the not too distant future, solutions are going to be based on both.
It's a great marriage.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, well, thanks a lot for joining us this evening.
Thank you. Cheers.
Bitcoin mining, Bitcoin wallet, blockchain, stablecoins, MetaNet, the evolution of money. Everybody is talking about Bitcoin today, but what exactly is it? Learn the basics from experts. Learn what Bitcoin is, how it works, and why it matters. Blockchain 101, your ultimate guide to the fundamentals of blockchain.